everyday Joe Blow
Yep.
who's trying to look up information,
Well,
that's the other thing.
Yes.
How will you now be able to find real information?
what's true?
Welcome back, Al. We're back in the Gunners Club
Thank you.
for another one. Does this pass the pub test? The government's bringing in a new bill. You probably heard
Yes.
about this.
Yes, that one.
That one.
That one.
that one.
Yeah.
What's the legal name for it? The Misinformation Bill?
And disinformation.
Misinformation and Disinformation Bill. Yeah. You know, that's to protect us from,
Misinformation?
and disinformation.
Yes.
Right? But the thing that gets me is that the government is exempt.
Yes. How's that? The government and the media.
Oh, legacy media. That's right.
Yep.
So, for example, we're talking Melbourne here at the moment. So, Channel 9, Channel 7, ABC, all these people, they're exempt. But people like us, as an example,
Yep.
independent YouTubers, we'd be covered under this bill. As in, we could get our asses kicked.
Well, yeah, unless we do our media.
Yeah, but we're not legacy media. We're not Channel 7, we're not Channel 9 or ABC and all that. In other words, we don't lick Albanese's ass.
Yeah. And what gets me is that we've been brought up to listen to the mainstream media's outlet, and you say, oh, did you hear? Oh, it was on TV. So then it was true. Yeah? In a roundabout way.
Do you remember that? Brian told me so.
That's right.
So it must have been true.
Must have been true.
Yeah.
But if they can not, if they don't have to comply to their bill, that means they can spread disinformation and misinformation. Isn't that right?
How can they be exempt? I don't get that. Isn't that a double standard?
Absolutely.
I mean, so they can lie through their teeth and it's okay.
Yeah.
We can't, but they can.
Yeah.
And most importantly, as always, the government can lie through their teeth as well. I'm sorry, don't they do that already?
Well, yeah. They do a lot of trickery.
Is that what you call it? Are you trying to comply with this new legislation already, are you? It's trickery. I like that.
So how's the double standards on that? So we have to self-censor ourselves with our free speech and what we want to talk about. Otherwise, you're banned or you'll get that knock on the door or that email. But they don't have to worry.
Yeah, they can say whatever the hell they please.
That's incredible.
Under this legislation, which, by the way, while you were sleeping...
Listening to the Trump election, because that's where everyone was focused on.
Yep. Which, by the way, was a clean sweep, if you remember it. They put this through the House of Reps.
Yeah.
And it went through and passed. It just waiting to go through the Senate.
Yeah, it's just sitting there waiting for the Senate. What have you got there? It went through the November 7th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right in the middle of the Trump elections.
Yeah.
And nobody was paying attention. Let's all focus on what's going on over there, the other side of the world.
Yep.
We'll just slip this in under there. Yep. Nobody will notice.
No voting. No nothing. Not by us anyway.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
But this is all, mind you, this is all to protect us. To protect us. That's what they're doing this for.
It's all for your own good.
Yeah. Because I need protecting like that, because I can't think for myself.
Well, they're taking that one step further with the parents. You don't have to worry about parenting your child up to the age of 16, at least, of what they see in the social media as well.
That's the new one that they're bringing in, isn't it?
That's another one.
Yeah.
So I just think they're trying to take another % away from us being the parent. So the government will tell your kids what they can and can't see, and then also up to what age. So that's just another thing they're sliding in there too. Now, some people might go, yep,
That's a good idea. I don't want my kids watching porn or whatever they might be into at the time.
And that's good. I mean, all my kids are past that age now, but we obviously went through that too. But that's called parenting. So we had to govern that and police that, and so you should. And until they're older, and then of course they've got free reign, but they're taking that parental right away. That's what I don't like as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And you know what? I know we're doing this piece and it's totally independent of anything else we've done, but that just goes back to one of our previous videos.
Yeah.
1984.
Yeah.
They're going to be watching everything you do.
The digital ID.
Yeah. Don't think that that's not going to be next.
Yeah, well, you spoke about the social credit in that video, and that's been in China, as you said, for many, many years, and it is coming here.
And the amount of cameras, cameras. I was flabbergasted. Flabbergasted, I tell you! Don't ask me to spell it. I was flabbergasted. I went in to pay for my fuel a while ago, as I normally do. You just go in there. And the kindly gentleman behind the counter, who was, I was doing my tap and go on the machine. And as I was leaving, he said, "Oh, by the way, I don't know whether you're aware, but your rego's expired."
Yeah. The rego's expired on your car.
Yeah.
He knew that. He doesn't. He knew it.
I didn't. It was a couple of days, but
Wow.
it's slipped my mind completely. He told me that it came up on his computer that my rego has expired. So that means that they've got number plate recognition technology on their on their surveillance cameras.
Wow. And that's just at your servos.
And that's at the servo. That's at the service station, your petrol station.
Coming up automatically, reading every car that comes in. I guess that'd be a car could be stolen, car could be anything, but unregged. And I guess with the how expensive fuel is, they have a lot of drive-bys, so they've got to take your rego for the cops. But now for that technology to be out there in their hands,
but I understand police having it. I understand the government having that.
Yep.
But a 7-Eleven petrol station having that. I mean, he was kind enough to let me know, and in retrospect, I'm pleased that he did. It slipped my mind completely, so I went home and paid it straight away. I just didn't even realise that it expired. But the very fact that he knew about it at a petrol station,
wow, yeah,
that just completely threw me.
Yeah. With the digital age, the technology in the cameras now, we all know what is available even at Bunnings with the facial recognitions and whatnot. It's incredible. But look, that's the new age of technology. But getting back to the point of that misinformation bill, what's your take on that? How do you think that they can pass this through? Do you reckon it'll get through the Senate?
Given the way the Parliament is running,
it's possible.
And with all the Greens and the Teals and all these other snowflakes that are in there now, all they got to do is do a couple of deals under the counter, as they always do, and it'll pass. Yep. But if it does, we are heading downhill very quickly. Yeah. Towards what we just spoke about, that 1984 video.
Yeah, being more in a communist country.
Yeah.
But look, the Trump election and
what a clean sweep that was!
Yep. And
my God,
he's already put a stop to it. He's said a lot. He's been very vocal about what he plans to do with those bills. And I hope that has a reflection coming over our way. I hope it does, but who knows? We are a separate country. We're not. We're in a line, but we don't have to follow all their rules. But I just hope it comes this way. I hope this doesn't get through.
I can't get over the fact that the government has exempted themselves
And the media.
from these rules
Yeah.
and the legacy media.
Yeah.
So all the arse lickers that pat them on the head, you're doing a good job, and don't ask them the hard questions.
Yeah.
No, you're right, guys. Okay, so long as you don't ask hard questions, you guys will be right. And of course, well, we're not responsible for anything we say.
Yeah.
We can lie through our teeth because hey, we're the ones making the rules.
I mean, from that day forth, you could be watching the news. You enjoy coming home, watching the news, or listening to anything. And how do you know what's real and what's not? Then, if they can actually mislead you, legally,
that's right. Yeah.
So how can you trust what you're watching again? So
the only people that are going to be bound by this new law, this new legislation, is people outside that clique.
Yeah, which is
which
a
is
shitload.
Yeah, well, I mean, which is your everyday Joe Blow, who's trying to look up information.
Well,
that's the other thing.
Yes.
How will you now be able to find real information?
What's true? Look, I don't trust some of the mainstream search engines, what I look up, either. Sometimes I don't fully trust that information. You've got to research it in so many other different avenues. I'm not going to name them all, but then you've got to try to narrow it down and go, because there are differences, because most people just use Google or your Safari. I don't trust everything that comes from there, and this can be exactly like that. Because if they want you to think a certain way, well, they just have to put that. So when you search it and it says that, you go, it says that, it must be true. Well, how's that any different from watching it on the news?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that must be true, I just watched it. But if they can manipulate the data and don't have to be accountable for spreading misinformation or disinformation, how is that even comprehensible to the future? Like, where is it leading?
How are you supposed to tell fact from fiction in that way?
Exactly. It just does not make sense.
The only thing you will get is what they want you to think you know.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I don't like it. I don't agree with it.
This thing about protecting kids, I get that, but I think it's overreach. It's going a step too far. It's the parents' responsibility to do that, not government.
Absolutely. Yep.
Government is there to look after, to safeguard us. But how far does that go?
And they'll sell it to the parents saying, you don't have to worry, we'll do that for you. So when does the parent stop being a parent? When do they start being a parent? I mean, our kids go to school for 7 hours a day. They're getting brought up by the curriculum. Mum and dad are so busy nowadays with work and with the cost of living.
That's
by
right.
the time they come home, they actually don't spend a lot of time with the children anymore.
Yep.
So who's bringing up your child? The curriculum and the government.
Yep.
Perfect
and
little soldiers.
And they're getting taught what they want them to know, not what they should know.
Yeah.
On the other hand, how many 16-year-olds do you know that can't get around a computer lock?
That's true. You probably give it to a 3-year-old and you'll learn how to hack that.
Yeah. It's amazing, isn't it? But look, the whole premise of this thing, I get what they're trying to sell.
Yeah.
But then having sold it, but that doesn't apply to us as the government. Yeah. That doesn't apply to those guys that suck up to us in the mainstream media. It doesn't apply to them. It doesn't apply to us. Yeah. But everybody else, all the rest of you, you got to follow the rules.
Yeah, yeah. Which it's always sort of been that way in a roundabout way, but now they can do it legally.
Yeah.
So if somebody catches them out, there is no recourse. There's nothing. It's legal.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's the big difference.
How is that right?
Yep.
How is that fair? Do you reckon this smells like a mullet up Burke Street? I reckon this smells fishy like you wouldn't believe.
It smells bloody fishy.
Yeah. You know what to do with the ballot box the next time it comes around, and it's not going to be too far away.
That's right. You've got a voice. You've got a pen. Put a marker down. Vote no. Vote yes. Who's pushing this agenda? Everyone's got to be on the same page. This ain't going to be good for the future. I couldn't see one valid reason for this.
I can see it if the law applies equally to everyone.
Yeah, that's all. That's it.
But they've exempted themselves. How does that even make sense?
That's the government for you.
Hey, we can lie through our teeth, but you're not allowed to.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not lie, it's just misinformation.
Oh, sorry. Is that what it is? How foolish of me.
Misinformed us. Yeah.
Anyway, that's our rant.
Yep.
I don't know what you guys feel about it, but if you feel even a little bit like we do, give us a like and a subscribe and give us your comments below, because
That's it.
this is getting steam coming out of my ears.
And if you want to donate $1 or $2 so we can pay his rego,
Hey, listen, I'm very happy that little 7-Eleven guy told me that my rego was due. But the very fact that he knew it, I couldn't believe it.
he's more gobsmacked about this than the bloody bill.
Yeah.
All right,
Thanks, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers.